G'day Darkrealmers, it's horror author and illustrator Michael J. Elliott here with you again. Hey, if this is your first trip to the Diaries, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And if you want to keep up with all the best book, movie, creepypasta and trivia from the world of horror, then hit that subscribe button and the bell notification and you'll always be getting great content from us. Okay, Darkrealmers, today I have got a really great nail biter for you. It's called No Good Deed, and it's one of the best psychological thrillers and dramas that are out there. So let's get started. Yeah. No Good Deed is a 2014 movie, and it stars Idris Elba as Collin, Taraji P Henson as Terri, Leslie Bibb as Meg, and Henry Simmons as Jeffrey. And it was directed by Sam Miller. And what I really love is that it was written by a woman. And I don't want that to sound patronising at all, because it's not. It is great to see screenwriters writing kick-ass female characters. And Amy Logos, who wrote the script, has done a brilliant job with this, Darkrealmers. Now, basically, the plot involves Idris Elba, who is linked or suspected of the disappearance of 5 women. But because the prosecutors don't have enough evidence, they can only charge him with manslaughter for a barroom fight he was involved with. Now, he is about to go up to the parole board, and he is very eloquent, you know, and you think, this poor man, you know, like, oh, and he is such good. But one of the parole board members says, Mr. Collins is what's known as a malignant narcissist, and he loves himself. He's very persuasive, he's very charming, but he's also very quick to anger. He won't take responsibility for his own actions. Everyone else is to blame for his failures, and so forth. And then we see Idris Elba leaning over, and you can tell he's snapped. He's you know, wants to throttle this parole board member, because as it's stated, where the action takes place in the state of Tennessee, it has to be a unanimous decision by all board members for a prisoner to be released on parole, and he doesn't get that. And anyway, Collins manages to escape, and on his way back to prison, and he goes to see his girlfriend, and that's when the chills start. So before I get right into it, Darkrealmers, I'm going to give you a taste of what you can expect, and here's the trailer.
Mr. Evans fits the criteria of a malignant narcissist. Acts of rage frequently involving the attentions of a woman.
You look so beautiful when you sleep. When I was in prison, I thought a lot about you.
Collin, I tried to wait.
No, you didn't.
There's violence in this man.
Your parole is denied.
They say the storm is gonna be really bad.
I better get going.
Tell your dad I said happy birthday. I love you.
Love you too.
That's very good. Big girl. Okay, finish cutting that up, baby. Put it on the plate and then come over here and eat, okay?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to bother you. I just lost control of my car and wrecked it.
Are you alright?
I'm good. I just had it.
Oh my God.
Do you think I could use your phone?
You live around here?
Yeah, over on River Road. I don't even need you. Come in. I'll stand right here. You can hand the phone and shut the door.
I'm feeding my daughter. I'll be right back.
All right, thank you.
Guess somebody needs to use the phone.
Let's do it. Let's go. And up to the sky.
Put her down!
Please.
Please what?
You don't have to do that.
have thought of all those brains you've got, you would have figured out the game you're playing by now.
Terri, are you here? You've reached 911.
Hello, yes. There's an intruder in my house.
Now, Idris Elba gives an absolutely wonderful performance in this Darkrealmers. He is literally terrifying. Now, the scene where he goes after escaping to visit his girlfriend is one of the most chilling scenes I've seen in a long, long time, because it's not the fact that we know that this man is violent and he's capable of violence, because we've just seen that when he's escaped. It's the fact that we don't know what will be the trigger that will set his violence off. And all through this scene where he's questioning his girlfriend, why didn't you come and see me? Are you sleeping with someone else? I'm thinking to myself, tell him what he wants to hear. Don't rattle the boat, you know, don't upset him. And that's how powerful it was. And the fact that it does end in violence and, you know, the death of his girlfriend is just chilling, because it's like a cat and mouse game. Okay, now after this he goes and visits, well, doesn't visit, but Terri, the woman, the main character, she's there by herself. Her husband is away. She's got a baby and a young daughter. Now she is a woman who is a lawyer, obviously on maternity leave, but she specialises in prosecuting domestic violence cases. So we know this woman straight away has had a lot of experience with the dark side of marriage and relationships, okay? And she says to her husband that, you know, she's just a little bit bored and things. And he said, well, you wanted to stay home and, you know, have the children. And she says, look, I don't regret that for a minute, but I need to be a bit active, okay? And I can understand this. And from a woman's point of view, I think this is really, really good that, you know, it's a very hard act for women to juggle career and to juggle motherhood, okay? And it's not, I didn't get this feeling that she wanted to be this super heroine, you know, this huge, you know, save the world, I make heaps of money. She was passionate about what she does, you know, helping women and helping, you know, victims of abuse. And it's just very, very chilling that Collin actually ends up on her doorstep. Now, it's a dark, stormy night. Yeah, that's not a good opening for a novel. Okay, but this is very good. And he says, hey, I've broken down, can I use your phone? And of course, you know, with all those scenes, you know, in horror movies where we see, oh, don't let them in, you know, and of course in real life most people wouldn't. Now, I give credit to Amy Logos, the writer, because she didn't say, yeah, come in, yeah, and totally blow the scene. Not at all. You know, Terri's very skeptical and she's very wary. And Collin, because he's this narcissist who's very smooth and very charming and handsome, and, you know, he says, look, that's fine. I can understand. You don't want me in there. That's fine. You know, look, could you just maybe hand me the phone and shut the door and I'll call, you know, the auto club and get this all sorted, or a tow truck or whatever. And so that was really good. And so that's what Terri does. And she, you know, looks out after he's made his call and you know, human compassion, you know, it's part of us. We can't help it. And she says, look, come on in. And you think, oh, this is it. This has started. Okay. And what is brilliant in this movie, Darkrealmers, is that Collin sees this home, this beautiful home that, you know, Terri and her husband, Jeffrey, have built. He sees her beautiful baby and her lovely daughter, And he builds up this picture in his mind. He sees, this is what I want. This is what I should have had. That bitch, my girlfriend, you know, she ruined it all. And of course, you know, it's not his fault. Never is with sort of people unbalanced like that. And so he grows this attachment to Terri. Now, into Terri's home comes her best friend, Meg. And Meg is flirtatious, she's very out there, outspoken, outgoing, and she makes it perfectly clear that she wants to get into Collin's pants. And he's not interested, you know, like that's not how women should be. And he doesn't like dominant women. He doesn't like women who take the lead. Now, in a scene where they're in the garage, he's having a cigarette and Meg comes out, oh, could I have one? And it's obviously she's trying to chat him up. And you're thinking, don't go there, girlfriend. You don't know what you're getting into. Well, he concocts this story that he's actually a friend of Terri's and that they've been having an affair and she's going to leave Jeffrey. And this is all in his mind. He can actually see this happening. You know, this isn't just something he's made up on the spot. He's very much built up this fantasy life of him with Terri. And that's when Meg turns. She goes, you are just full of bullshit. Who are you? But she's my best friend. And if she was going to have an affair, she would tell me, oh, this is just crap. I'm going to tell. Well, yeah, that was a bad move, Meg, because, yeah, all I'll just say is, yeah, she doesn't make a lot of appearances after that, and I'll leave it at that, Darkrealmers, okay? Now, this is, you know, it builds up, and finally all is revealed. The cards are laid on the table, and Terri knows this man is, you know, a psychopath. And I loved the way Terri handled this, you know, and that's not to say that, you know, women shouldn't be terrified in a situation like this. God, I'd be terrified. And I'm, you know, like a basic wimp anyway, you know. But Terri says in one scene, well, you're not going to murder me because you would have done that by now. So let's cut this fucking act. You know, what game are you playing? And I'm sitting there going, oh, don't say that, Terri. No, bad move, bad move. And you really feel, you know, this tension because she could have just said something that will make him totally snap. You know, she could end up with her neck broken, whatever. But that just shows how powerful she is. She's not going to be cowed down. She's not going to be terrorised. She's dealt with men like him before. And there are scenes where she does try to get away. And it's not like she just runs. She stabs him in the leg and hits him over the head. Now, the one problem I have, and it's not just with this movie, Darkrealmers, it's with all movies. Why is it that someone can smash someone over the head, and if it was anyone else, you know, like, you know, they might do that to another character, the character stays knocked out. But no, always the killer or the you know, stalker or whatever always manages to get back up. And when they're stabbed or whatever, why is it that there's never enough time from between that, the shock of that, and them going, oh my God, to the victim getting out of the house? It's always, they just get to the front door and bang, they're dragged back. But that didn't detract me from the movie, okay, Darkrealmers, because the scene of Terri trying to escape is just part of it, okay? He actually takes her to where his victim's, you know, ex-girlfriend's body is. Now, that was a little bit sort of, I wasn't sure what the writer was trying to get at that point, Darkrealmers. I don't know whether it was he felt that that's the last place the police would look for him, or he wanted to, you know, perhaps show her what he was capable of. But in the scene where he actually does kill his girlfriend, she drops her cell phone, and that is going to play a very, very important scene in the film. And it's a scene where I went, oh my God. And it's not often I get an OMG moment in a movie, Darkrealmers, really and truly. But this had such a hit you in the face twist that was totally unexpected, just totally unexpected. But needless to say, Terry tries to escape from this situation. And once again, there are flaws in this part of the plot because, firstly, when he visits his ex-girlfriend, you would think that the police would have told her, look, he's escaped, you know, your life may be in danger, and at least have had a police there. Now, they may not. I don't know, you know, police procedures in the States and everything, and I know the poor guys and women are totally overworked, you know, whatever state they work in. But I would have assumed that, you know, at least a police would have come around and said, are you okay? Is the house secure? Okay? That didn't happen. But it wasn't one of those flaws that you think about, Darkrealmers. It didn't hit you in the face so much that you go, oh, well, that's totally ridiculous. It's not till afterwards that you think about that, and that's good writing. So that was one part that was just a little bit flawed, but the ending is just brilliant, okay? This is one of the best psychological thrillers you will see for a long, long time. Now, as I said at the beginning, it's a huge credit to Amy Logos because she has written a fantastic script. It's very tight. The dialogue is very relevant. And the character that she's created in Terri is just one of the best female characters. And when I say best female characters, I mean in context of the situation she's going through, okay? Now, I don't want to give you the impression she's some sort of Wonder Woman or anything like that, but she holds up her own. She's intelligent, she's resourceful, she, of course, you know, has that strong mother instinct to protect her children, but she's, you know, she's not like we see a lot of writers do, and this is probably to do with male writers. Sorry, guys, but you know, you usually have women, you know, collapsing in a heap. Don't kill me, please, or sexualizing women and making them, you know, hey, we can be together, and offering sort of their bodies to get out of the situation. Now, I can understand why they would do it, but I can't understand. You know, from a woman's point of view, I don't know if a woman would do that, okay? I suppose if your life was in danger, yeah, you could do. But this is where Terry is brilliant. Now, there's a part in there where he's soaking wet and he gets out of his clothes and says, you, in the shower with me. And no, he's not interested in raping her. And she's virtually said to him, you're going to rape me, you better try and do it here, Buster, because no way known I'm getting in the shower. But he doesn't touch her. He actually doesn't touch her. And the creepy thing is, when he does touch her, Darkrealm, it's very gentle. It's like a stroke on the face. And that's probably more chilling than anything because it hints at what's to come. Okay? Now, I really, really highly recommend this movie to you, Darkrealmers, because as I said, I give it 10 stars for great writing and having a strong female lead in Terri, and you know, Taraji P Henson is just brilliant in the role. She is really good. Okay, Meg, the other character, because she's a minor character, and not a lot of development has gone into her, but it's not meant to. They're sort of diametrically opposed in some ways. You know, she's not into relationships and marriage and everything like that, and she's, you know, the good time girl. But that's fine. That's fine. She's there as a backup character, okay? So essentially it's a two-person story. It's Idris Elba as Collin and Taraji P Henson as Terri, and they work so well together. Okay, Darkrealmers, well, that's my review of No Good Deed. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's maybe, you know, sparked your interest to put it on your watch list. Now, it's available to watch on Netflix, and it's also on DVD, so it's very easy to find, Darkrealmers. It's a great movie. I thoroughly recommend it to you. So yeah, check that one out for yourself. Okay, and that's it for my review. I hope you've enjoyed it, like I said, and if you have, please give us a thumbs up. And if this is your first time, as I said, please subscribe to us, because I've got some great reviews coming up for you, and some really good content. So yeah, so that's it for me, Darkrealmers. So as I always say, remember, stay in the light, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye for now, Darkrealmers.